Blackson and I go way back. We met many years ago as young soul seekers studying spiritual psychology and developing our chops as life coaches. Kute was born in West Africa and raised on 4 different continents, so he knows his way around the world. Today, he's a passionate, sought-after life coach with a method for transformation that he calls liberated living. I met up with Kute to talk about basic life principles that serve us all well, especially during turbulent times. So right now we're going through such cataclysmic change and everyone's world has been thrown upside down. But we really are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
I believe that. And I think our soul is here for a certain reason. And I want you to talk about that today.
Yeah, I think the world has been thrown upside down, inside out. We've been put through the washing machine so that everything that's not truly aligned with who we are can drop away, so that we can really find our alignment again, and through that process connect with our true soul purpose again. So often we're taught that life is about making money and success and fame and house and this and that, but ultimately we incarnate our souls into this human experience because there's lessons that we are here to learn. And so to me, real success, the real purpose of life is not what we attain or what we achieve, but learning the lessons that we are here to learn and grow through and evolve through. And to me, that is real success. And so when we really connect to that, we are that much more ready to truly live our true purpose in life.
Absolutely. So how does someone find their soul's purpose?
I think there's this concept in spirituality or self-help that you have to know what your purpose is up front. You have to have it figured out on a poster board.
Yes.
It's got to be defined. I believe this is a myth.
By high school or college.
I believe this is actually a myth.
It is.
I think that there's a deeper dimension of our soul that knows everything. So if we're willing to be still and listen, what is life seeking to express through me? What is the deepest impulse of what life wants through me and for me? And to actually take a moment to listen to that. There is a part of our souls that it knows. So anyone that says, I don't know what my soul's purpose is not true. You can't not
It's
know.
another lie to yourself.
Your mind might not know.
Yes.
But your soul always knows.
Yes.
It's just we have to clear away the clutter. We have to clear away the conditioning. We have to make space so that this intelligence of life can flow again. So what I would invite people to do is stop trying to figure out your soul's purpose. Move in the direction of what you love. Move in the just go in the direction of what lights you up. Go in the direction of what turns you on. Go in the direction of what makes you most alive. And then as you take a step in that direction, what I have found is life will usually meet you and give you some feedback in that moment and reveal to you what's next. And you take another step and then life reveals what's next. And so I think our true soul's purpose is not something you have to figure out up front from a perspective of the mind, but it's something that you live into as you live the process of life itself. My world is a mirror manifestation of my consciousness. The world reflects who I am in people I attract, situations, relationships, etc. And so we can look at the world and say, wow, it's screwed up, it's messed up, it's this, it's that. And we can project out there and make everything wrong out there. But if we look at the world and point the finger out there, it will move us into a victim position. And I think we will end up feeling disempowered, depressed, unhappy, and we're just projecting out there. And so if we can accept that the world is a mirror manifestation of the collective consciousness of all of us, the world is a projection of our consciousness, I think it can move us into a slightly different relationship to life.
Yes.
You know, if we're able to begin by shifting ourselves, bringing ourselves into alignment, letting go of situations, people, things in our life that really are no longer resonating with our truth. You know, I think the next level of our lives require the next level of us, which is going to...
So that's a great... How do you do that? A lot of people are stuck with old relationships or marriages, and it's painful to leave.
It is.
Or family members, or colleagues or good friends that they've had since childhood.
Okay. One of the things that keeps us stuck are all the ways we lie to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Constantly BSing ourselves.
Yes.
Constantly rationalizing. We stay in relationships because, you know, it's comfortable. We stay in relationships for money, for survival, because of what people will think. We stay in relationships and we constantly say, oh, this relationship's not so bad, it's okay.
Absolutely.
And we know deep inside it is not in alignment.
If you're constantly questioning it, it's not right.
It's not in alignment.
Right,
How is that different? So it's easy to look at someone and say, that president, that prime minister is not in alignment, but I'm not in alignment. So if we want to shift the world, we have to be the change. I think we are constantly lying to ourselves out of fear.
Yeah.
We're afraid that if I'm really honest with my truth, if I'm really honest with who I am, if I'm really honest and let you see who I am, then I'm going to be alone.
Yes.
Then I'm going to be abandoned.
Yep.
Then I'm going to be outcast. I won't be loved anymore. And so in so many ways, we're constantly compromising ourselves. We're constantly betraying ourselves. We're constantly rationalizing. And the mind can rationalize and make excuses for anything and make it sound like truth. To me, real spiritual practice, a real prayer, a real meditation is living, breathing, speaking the truth.
But how do you do that?
So
it's great to say, okay, I'm going to start today, just like I'm going to start my workout today.
Right. So I think if we're willing to start by being honest with ourselves, some people will say, well, how do you know if you're not in alignment or not? It's very simple. If you start feeling into your life where there is pain, where are you in pain? Many times where we're in pain is simply a signal that is showing us where we are not living in integrity, where we are not truly living in alignment. The challenge is what we often do when we feel pain or when we feel hurt, when we feel dissatisfied in some way, is because we're afraid of, oh shit, if I actually acknowledge that, what's that gonna mean to my relationship? If I really acknowledge that I'm not happy in my job and it's painful and I'm feeling depressed, I might actually have to do something about this. I might actually have to take action
and leave
my job.
Security.
So let me just ignore it. Let me social media it away. Let me distract myself with the news, with CNN, with Fox, with social media. Let me just not deal with the pain that I feel and ignore it. Let me sex it away, eat it away, shop it away, travel it away, work it away, whatever it is, so that I don't have to be still and sit with the pain, the dissatisfaction that I feel. To me, pain is not good or bad. It's just a signal. And I think if we can shift our relationship to the pain as a signal, it's a part of us that's trying to tell us something. And so what we have to be willing to do is actually sit with the pain. And I invite people to feel the pain, not run from it. Feel the pain. If we're willing to feel the pain of being in a job that really is not aligned with your soul, and feel it. It is a burn. It hurts. Feel the pain of being in a relationship with someone that you are no longer in love with, and the time that's being wasted and the compromise in your soul. Feel it. That pain is a burn. And so people should ask themselves, what lies am I telling myself? What am I pretending to not know? Because in many ways, we're constantly pretending to not know. And sometimes as human beings,
justify, it's not so bad.
It's not. Sometimes we play a game of, I'm confused, or I'm not sure, when the truth is, we do know. Typically what happens is, when change is forced upon us, we tend to hold on. You know, like, oh my God, we hold on out of fear, out of comfort, even though it's no longer working. We're holding on to things that we knew we wanted to change but weren't working anyway, you know?
Absolutely.
And so holding on to things, relationships, situations that are not working anymore only blocks the next level of our life. Holding on to that which doesn't work, I also believe, is kind of like an affirmation of our lack of trust in the universe. And by holding on to things that aren't working, relationships that aren't working, we're just basically reinforcing the stuckness, keeping ourselves stuck and recreating more of what's not working in the future. So I think the best thing we can do is understand, okay, this is a profound spiritual evolutionary process, where I'm being given the opportunity to reassess my life, to reassess my purpose. Many of us, we've been doing things, we've been busy, running around.
Everyone's busy.
Not even sure.
Yeah.
Why are you running around?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Where are you going? I'm not sure. What are you running from? I'm not sure. So it's an opportunity to be still. I also see many people during this time, Lisa, got to pivot. If I don't do something and take charge, then life won't happen. And so I see a lot of people acting out of fear. I am actually inviting people, I think, to have the courage to be still, to actually stop. Be still for a moment. I'm not saying like forever, but for a moment, so that we can take this time to really listen to our deeper truth. Take the time to listen, reconnect with who am I? What is my truth? Is what I'm doing what I really want to be doing? Am I living my truth? And really listen. I think there's a part of us at the deepest level, if we become still and listen, that knows everything.
Yes.
We know everything because at the deepest level, we are everything.
We are. All you have to do is listen to the whisperings of
our soul.
Yes.
We've been listening to our parents. We've been listening to friends. We've been listening to media, music videos, the news, and all these external.
That's who I want to be. That's what I should be. I need to please my parents.
Right.
Oh, I need to fit into this group. So I'll have I'm going to think this way about whatever it is.
We've been living other people's lives.
Always.
Thinking it's our lives. The ego tries to seek permanence in the world. The ego tries to control and set up a sense of permanence in the world so we can feel safe. But ultimately, at the deepest level, we have to realize that there is no permanence out here. The world is impermanent. And if we're willing to say, okay, that's not aligned, let me let that go. This relationship is not aligned, let me let that go. We are then able to create the space. I think that's also what's exciting. By letting go, you create the space in your life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, vibrationally. You create the space in your life to receive, to be available for new opportunities, for new possibilities, for new ideas, for new relationships, for new friendships, for new people. Maybe for many of us, the way our lives were set up, our lives were so cluttered with stuff that there was no space for the next level to show up.
I agree with that 100%.
We've got to clear the space. We may not be able to change the entire planet, but I think we can change ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we emit a different vibration. And then living our lives in a way that is kind, in a way that is loving, in a way that is with integrity and honesty and truth.
How you want to see the world.
Living our life that way, then rather than telling people with words how they should live their life, I think if we all live our lives with that integrity and kindness and honesty and connectedness and compassionate nature, that says everything. That is how we change the world, by how we live our lives. And I think those that really changed the world, yes, they took action, but it was their example and how they lived their life that was way more important than speeches they gave. The moment we latch onto a sense of knowing, like, I now have it figured out and I know. Okay, it feels safe for the mind. But the moment we latch onto, I know what this is, I know what this relationship is, I know what the situation is, I know what's happening now, I got it. But that moment we start limiting life. We actually start limiting the totality of what life is able to. We are no longer truly open to the totality of what life is able to express to us. And I say that life is way bigger than our limited knowing. That's when we're open to miracles. That's when we're open, I think, to things happening and unfolding in our lives that we could never have planned. We could never have written down as a top 10 goals. We could never have figured out up here. That's when life happens and unfolds in magical ways.
Talking with Kute was a great recap of life principles we can all live by, especially during turbulent times. He reminds us that as spiritual beings, our life purpose is to evolve. When you take the time to listen to your deepest truth and connect with who you really are, you can ask yourself these questions. What is my truth? Am I living my truth? Am I doing what I really want to be doing? Then listen. I think there's a part of us at the deepest level, if we become still and listen, that knows everything. Even if your entire life has been thrown up in the air through no fault of your own, and you feel aimless or totally out of control in our world today, you still get to make a choice moment by moment how to respond to adversity. If you stay aligned with your soul's purpose and move in the direction of what you love, then your life will reveal what's next for you. Remember that we only have this moment, and your choices in this moment is creating your next moment and the next day and the rest of your life. So choose your words and actions wisely.